What's good, everybody? It's the GOAT Aaron Brown, and I'm back with another video. And on this video, I will be talking about the new track and field league that Michael Johnson plans on starting and launching next year, and how it will be a complete failure and how it'll really never get off the ground. So, in April of this year, 2024, Michael Johnson made an announcement that he wanted to start his own track and field league because the current track and field system, especially in the United States, is flawed and it needs a lot of work, and he wants to take things into his own hands and create his own league, and boom. So he got to work. He put this plan to action, got with some investors, and they came up with a business model and a business plan. And I really respect Michael Johnson as a businessman. I feel like he's done some great business in the past, but this track and field league will be a fail. It's going to be one of his worst business ventures and a big waste of time, money, and effort on all parts. And the reason I said Michael Johnson's league is going to fail, in which it is because I made a list of things that people who are starting new leagues and new track and field ventures, things that they should include that'll make them successful. I pretty much took the biggest problems in track and field, and included those into a list and just added the solution to those problems. And those solutions, if you take your own league and add the solution to the problems that the current track and field people are making, you will have the biggest track and field league in the world. And here it was, I made a tweet. I said, my advice to everybody starting these track leagues: number one, do not involve World Athletics. World Athletics is pretty much the governing body over the current track and field in every country, every nation across the world. They're a corrupt system that gives a lot of control to these drug testing companies, and they allow the drug testing companies to control the sport. So the athletes have no power, they have no say so. The drug companies control the sport. So do not include World Athletics. Number two, find a way to involve sports betting. Everybody know when money is involved, you can get an average everyday person involved. Because I've done sports betting in the past, and it's been sports like fencing that I've never watched before, don't know anything about. But if I can put money on it, it's going to make me tune into it to see if my bets and my picks hit. So if you include that in track, in which they do at the Olympics, the World Championships, and the Diamond League final, you'll get regular people tuning in because they want to see if they money and they picks gonna hit. Number three on my list was do not involve these corrupt drug testing companies, USADA, AIU, WADA, etc. And the reason I say don't involve these companies is because they have proven to been corrupt throughout history, like from cases like Butch Reynolds to Peter Bowl to people testing positive, them sweeping tests under the rug. They're corrupt and they're in bed with World Athletics, so don't involve those people. You can use a drug testing company that the UFC uses, and it's the same company I think the NCAA uses. And they don't have that much power over the sport, so they can't control the sport. So the person who owns the league can have full control over his league and not drug people having full control over his fucking league. Number four, appeal to the interests of everyday people, not fans of the sport. So at the end of the day, the problem a lot of track companies make is they try to appeal to track fans. You're appealing to people who's already watching. You need to appeal and get people from the outside looking in. So with the spokesman that you use to represent your company, right now in track for USATF, they're using Noah Lyles as their spokesperson. The everyday person doesn't relate to Noah Lyles. He's a fucking nerd, and he's pretty much a band kid who runs fast. And the average person just doesn't relate to that shit. So you got to get a person that regular people appeal to, includes things like sports betting, and that'll get the average everyday person who don't know anything about track to tune in because it's money involved and it's somebody relatable that they see as the face of it involved. Number five, this is huge. Sell alcohol at the events. You got to think, if you include sports betting and you're selling alcohol, just think of the casino. You go to the casino, they give you free drinks. You get drunk and spend all your money. You go to a track meet and you betting at the track meet. You get drunk at the track meet and you spend all your money on sports betting, and there's just more money circulating throughout the sport. These things just go hand in hand, and it's been so successful with like meets like the Diamond League final and the World Championships with the sports betting. So why not include it at every single meet if you own the league? And I said follow these 5 pieces of advice and you will be the biggest league in track. And it's that plain and it's that simple. But I know Michael Johnson isn't going to follow these things because he's friends with the people at the World Athletics. He go way back with the USADA WADA AIU people. I don't even think sports betting has even crossed his mind when he has mentioned his league. Alcohol at the events, I feel like he's been around track too long for him to even think of something like having alcohol at his sporting events. When all the big sports, they sell alcohol because it promotes more money to be spent by the fans. When you not in your right state of mind, you make decisions that you'll regret later. Let somebody max out their bank account at the meet, buying merch, buying alcohol, making bets on athletes. And they can think about it later when they wake up and they realize they account in the negative because they had so great of a time at the track and field meet. I found some articles online detailing like some of his plans from April for his league, and we're gonna go over and look at a few of these articles. This was an article from the sportsbusinessjournal.com. It read Olympic champion Michael Johnson has secured more than $30 million from investors and strategic partners for a track league he plans to launch next year. Winners Alliance, the for-profit arm of the Professional Tennis Players Association, was the lead investor and will be the league's operating partner. Okay, so he has like the tennis people investing in it, and they'll play a big part in the league because they they invested so much money into it. So that right there already takes away a lot of power from Michael Johnson because despite your name being the name of the league or whatever you decide to name it, despite you being the face of it, you really don't own this league because these investors, not only are they just investing, but they're getting like large portions of the company. Like they're helping operate it as well. So you really won't have like full creative freedom when it comes to your league. Big problem. Let's proceed. Johnson, a 4-time Olympic gold medalist, announced in February that they would launch a track series in 2025 aimed at promoting interest of the sport. The league will include a series of events during the normal track season, which is April to September, limiting the number of events and athletes. It aims to elevate the sport stars, rivalries between them, catering to fan interest. As good as that sounds, promoting the stars in the sport and promoting their rivalries, what fucking stars run track besides Sha'Carri? She ain't got no damn rivalries. The people who she be going against, they on their way out. Shelly Ann and Sharika Jackson, Elaine Thompson, these girls on their way out the sport. On the men's side, it ain't no stars. And it's the fact that what will Michael Johnson know about promoting rivalries? Last time I remember, he had a rivalry in 2000 when Maurice Green came on the scene in the 200. And mind you, Michael Johnson was the world record holder in the 200. So a nigga shouldn't be able to tell him shit in the 200. But yet, Maurice Green was like, we can make this shit interesting. I'm going to come on the scene talking shit to Michael Johnson because I don't feel like that nigga can beat me in a 200. Despite Michael Johnson being the world record holder. So you know what Michael Johnson did in 2000 when it came to that rivalry with Maurice Green in that 200? At the Olympic trials in 2000, Maurice Green was literally talking trash to Michael Johnson, and Michael Johnson quit the fucking 200. Like, as a world record holder, what kind of shit could a nigga be talking to you to make you quit your event? That shit just sounds crazy. The Chicago Tribune did a story about it. It said Michael Johnson says he's finished with the 200 meters. The Olympic gold medalist and world record holder at the distance won't run the race again because of the silly trash talking by Maurice Green leading up to the 200-meter final at the U.S. Olympic trials Sunday in Sacramento. Mike said, "It's a huge relief because I'm sick of running the 200. It was something that was a benefit for everyone else, but not me." And I don't even feel like reading that shit no more. But it's pretty much, bro, somebody fast came into the event. Bro was talking shit like how he was gonna beat Michael Johnson, in which he was running faster than Michael Johnson in the event, so rightfully so. But he was talking shit, and Michael Johnson didn't want the rivalry, so his ass ran from the event. And it's crazy because every time somebody called Michael Johnson out, from Maurice Green to Donovan Bailey, like Michael Johnson somehow always ended up hurt. Like when it was time to race them, like he was hurt or he just quit the event, which sounds crazy. And then also in this article, it talks about how in his league he's planning on including the IOC, the International Olympic Committee, Nike, and some more people. But you got to think about it. And it says it will advise the league on how to generate new fans and galvanize existing track fans to support the league. But once again, a big reason on why it will fail because these are the same people who have their hands in control of the regular track and field right now. So if you're including the same companies that have the shit corrupt right now and have a failing system incorporated, and then you include the same boring ass athletes who barely run, even when it's incentivized for them to run, how on earth do you expect a different result? Just because you put a new nigga's name on it, the result will be the same because the athletes are fucking lazy and they aren't professionals. And track and field is one of the only sports where the quote unquote professional athletes like attention more than they like money. So it'll fail in that sense. And then you also got the corrupt drug system, drug testing people. If you don't include that new drug testing company that the NFL is using, that the MMA is using, it's going to fail. Like this league is going to fucking fail. You're including every single body that World Athletics include in they shit that they got going, and it's failing. And you planning on doing the same shit with a different production company, brighter lights, flashier colors, but the same athletes in the same companies involved, just different investors, the shit is going to fucking fail. But let me know what y'all think down below in the comments. Do y'all think that this is a great business strategy and business plan that Michael Johnson is pursuing, or do y'all think this shit's going to fail as well? Let me know down below in the comments. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. I'm out.